Good morning, Steve Freed in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Hope everybody had a safe and nice and long weekend. Overnight, we got mixed trade with beans up, corn and wheat lower. The outside market stocks are lower, the dollar is higher, and crude is higher. A lot of different headlines in the marketplace. First of all, in the grains, the number one headline is that Europe continues to try to discuss with Russia on having some kind of corridor to allow for Ukraine exports of grain and sun oil. Last week, similar actions by the UN, and Putin said no, that he wanted the sanctions against Russia lifted. And they continue to bomb heavily cities, especially in eastern Ukraine. Again, we have to watch and see what Putin says about the market. Obviously, corn and wheat's undervalued if there is no corridor of exports, but could be a little bit overvalued if they do open up exports out of Ukraine. We also note, as far as weather is concerned, 6 to 10 day has more cool and wet conditions across the northern half of the U.S., mostly dry and, let's say, normal temps in the southern half. The 8 to 14 is trying to make the entire country kind of normal, with normal rainfall and normal temps. I think that we'll be watching this closely, because the one thing that the markets needs to push to higher highs, especially in corn, is less than ideal spring and summer U.S. weather. We're still thinking that we're going to lose some acres, spring wheat, corn and beans in the especially North Dakota, but maybe parts of Minnesota. But right now, I think that most people are looking at a 200 carryout versus the government's number of 235 and 200 for 2023, 22-23 versus the government's 310. Also looking at 1,300 corn carryout versus 1,440, and maybe a 1,200 carryout for 22-23, depending upon the size of the U.S. crop. But in both corn and beans, we're looking for increase in exports. August 1st for the beans, because South America will be out of the market, and then later on for the corn. And in October, we could test record shipments weekly basis out of the U.S. that previously was around 164 million bushels a week. China feels like on one hand they're lifting some of the sanctions on the COVID as COVID cases comes down, which is probably bullish crude and commodities in general. On the other hand, their economy continues to be slow. They have done some policy changes to help manufacturing, but the PMI data was again slow. As far as weather in Europe, again, mostly dry across the southern areas. Ukraine is dry, South America is dry, and the North China plains are also dry, but they could see a few showers next week. So I think where beans are, we're establishing a new trading range because of higher demand. The corn market, wheat market responding to this headline of possible Ukraine exports. If they don't happen, it'll probably snap right back. And then we'll see about planting pace and crop conditions by the USDA today, and then just kind of watch for any new export sales. As always, these are my thoughts and not ADM or ADM Investor Services, and have a safe and profitable trading day.